This is Travis Shaw with the Virginia Piedmont Heritage Area, and today, November 10th, is the birthday of the United States Marine Corps. So in honor of that, we figured we'd tell a little Marine Corps story here in the Heritage Area. We have a lot of Marines who've made a huge impact on the history of the Corps. But today we're going to talk about one of the early heroes of the United States Marine Corps, and that is a Fauquier County native named Presley O'Bannon. The farm that you see behind me, just outside of Marshall, Virginia, was the O'Bannon family home. Presley was born out here in 1776, but he's going to become a hero in one of the United States' first wars after the nation achieved its independence, and that is the First Barbary War. Now, to give you a little bit of background, the Barbary War came about as a result of kind of hundreds of years of conflict in the Mediterranean Sea, where the Barbary states, these North African states in what is now Libya, Algeria, Tunisia, they're sending out pirates across the Mediterranean Sea. They're capturing captives, they're plundering. Now, by the 18th century, most of the powers of Europe have started to pay tribute to these pirates in order to avoid having their people taken as slaves and to avoid having their ships being plundered. But the United States, after achieving independence, of course, is no longer being protected by Britain, by these other powers. So the United States is really put into a hard situation. They don't have the money to pay tribute to these Barbary states, but they also don't have a powerful navy to really protect their commerce in the Mediterranean. And so all this will come to a head in 1801 with the First Barbary War. A small United States fleet is sent to the Mediterranean Sea to protect the American interests there. And among those ships that's sent to the Mediterranean is a brig named the USS Argus, and on board is a young Marine lieutenant named Presley O'Bannon. O'Bannon and the rest of the fleet are going to spend the next few years blockading some of the ports in North Africa, trying to protect American trade. They're going to be making a few raids along the coast of North Africa. But the climax of the First Barbary War is going to come in 1805, and Presley O'Bannon is going to play a critical role in the action. The American consul in the area, William Eaton, is going to get word that the bey, or the ruler of Tripoli in modern-day Libya, is deposed his brother and taken control of the sultanate of the state there. And this man's recently deposed brother, a man named Hamet Karamanli, has approached the United States, basically offering, friendship, offering to stop the attacks on American shipping in exchange for being put back on his rightful throne. Eaton takes him up on this cause, and they're going to assemble an army in Egypt to help put him back on the throne of Tripoli. This army is going to include a handful of Marines, about 8 Marines under the command of Presley O'Bannon, a handful of U.S. Navy sailors, and hundreds of mercenaries. It's a very mishmash polyglot force. There's Greeks, there's Arabs, Turks, Maltese soldiers. Altogether, this column is going to begin crossing the Sahara Desert, crossing west through Egypt, marching overland to take the port of Tripoli. Now, along the way, they're going to run into a roadblock, and that is the heavily fortified city of Derna. They call upon the governor of Derna to let them pass, and he refuses. He's loyal to Hamet's brother. So Presley O'Bannon and his small army, his mercenaries, are going to make an assault on the city. O'Bannon will lead the direct assault. He and the mercenaries and the Marines under his command will attack the walls of the city, distracting the defenders and allowing the rest of the mercenaries to circle around and take the city in a pincer movement. This is a remarkable feat considering how outnumbered they are, considering the strength of the fortifications. At one point, the mercenaries start to waver and fall back, and O'Bannon himself will take up the charge and will personally lead the men over the walls and will plant the American flag on the walls of Derna. This is the first time since the American Revolution that the Americans have taken enemy fortifications outside of the United States. It's one of the first times in world history that Americans will have a successful military operation overseas. And so this will go down in Marine Corps legend. When we hear the Marine Corps hymn, the first line of the hymn is "From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli," and that is a direct reference to the bravery and heroism of Presley O'Bannon at the Battle of Derna. But there's another legacy that the Marine Corps carries out to this day that comes from Presley O'Bannon as well, and that is the sword that Marine Corps officers carry. Legend has it that after the Battle of Derna, Caramanli was so impressed with Presley O'Bannon's personal bravery and his actions at the battle that he presented him with a ceremonial sword, a Mameluke sword, a sword in the style of the North Africans. And from 1825 on, with a few short exceptions, that Mameluke-style sword has continued to be the official sword of the officers of the United States Marine Corps. So I hope you've learned a little bit about Presley O'Bannon. Certainly a huge figure in the history of the Marine Corps. I'd like to thank all of our Marines out there, especially my good friend Ashton Walters, my favorite Marine. Happy birthday from the Virginia Piedmont Heritage area. I'm Travis Shaw.